Hey guys, your boy Marc back with another video. It is Rank Wednesday. This is Rank Wednesday 196. Yeah. Last day of April 2025. What I'm gonna do here for you guys for Rank Wednesday is I'm going to rank every single WWE Backlash pay-per-view, premium live event, main event. Now, I actually watched most of these just today. Actually, there were quite a few. There was a few that were first-time watches, actually, including some pretty big matches. And a lot of these were rewatches. There are a couple matches that I didn't rewatch just because I've seen them a million times already, and, But, yeah. 19 Backlash main events to get through. And, yeah, by the way, Pascal milkshakes. These are so delicious. Candies, and it's in a water bottle, but this is cranberry juice because I really love cranberry juice. Delicious. About 19 main events to get through. Honestly, I don't think any of these matches are bad at all. I don't know if I already said this, but they're obviously matches I like a lot less than others. So yeah, I think I'll eat this now. Man, I shouldn't have eaten that now. Number 19, I'm going to go with Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal from 2017. Now, this absolutely was the right choice in the main event because of the shock WWE title change, When we had, obviously Jinder Mahal shockingly beating Randy Orton to win the WWE Championship. I did review this back then. What I was so pissed off about was just the fact that I got every single prediction correct, except for that. That felt personal. I'm not gonna lie. The match isn't really anything too special. It's not bad at all either. But it was all about the shocking moment at the end. Yeah, not a bad match, but of all the main events, easily the weakest, I think. But number 18, I'm going with Backlash 2001. Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H, two-man power trip versus Undertaker and Kane. All the titles on the line on this one. Stone Cold was the WWF champion. Triple H, I think, was the Intercontinental champion. And Undertaker and Kane were the tag team champions, I believe. Who would have been who? Like, if Undertaker and Kane had won, who would have been Intercontinental champion? Who would have been WWF champion? Anyway, I know this match is kind of low. It's a fine match, but it's just a regular tag team match, honestly. Except for one weird thing. Stone Cold was acting all scared throughout the match, like, oh, Undertaker, please don't do that. That was bizarre. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, not Undertaker. Stone Cold had these red braces on his knees that were massive distraction. Honestly, it was just a regular tag team match. Honestly, nothing bad, nothing amazing either. But number 17, 2023, Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. Very short match. It was cool for what it was. The blood from Brock Lesnar was easily the coolest thing about this match, though. That was a lot of blood, man. It kind of just ends abruptly, though. And it's like, I'm wondering why they made this into a trilogy when their third match, the one they had at SummerSlam, not Backlash, I know, but that was like a perfect match. And like, why even bother with the first two matches? I don't know. But yeah, number 17, Cody versus Brock. Like I said, none of these matches are bad. But yeah. Oh, number 16. I'm going with Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe from 2018. Now, maybe we did overreact to this match at the time. For context, at the time, back in 2018, this was infuriating that this ended up being the main event. Because at the time, Roman Reigns was being pushed so hard. And even back then, I still liked Roman Reigns a lot. I enjoyed him as a performer. But man, when this ended up main eventing Backlash that year, it was so infuriating. We were like, because no championships on the line, we were like, wow, you're putting Roman Reigns over the WWE Championship, because at the time it was Shinsuke versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship. And it was infuriating. It was hard to give this match a chance at the time. But now that I've watched it back, it was a solid match. But I promise you, at the time, the rage we all had at the time did feel very justified. And it would be very hard to convince us in the moment that we were overreacting. But now in hindsight, it was a good match. It really was a good match. Although they had a match on the 1st of January that same year, 2018. That was a masterpiece. This was a solid match, but nothing like a masterpiece or anything. Definitely better than we all said it was at the time. Now, number 15, I'm going with Triple H versus Hulk Hogan from Backlash 2002. This was actually a first-time watch for me. But I enjoyed it. It was a lot more generic than I expected it to be. It was really just them fighting. I think there were some interferences, but early on, when I was rewatching all these, I did fall asleep due to just my general body fatigue. But I enjoyed this match. And it was cool to see Hulk Hogan. I mean, I don't know how people felt at the time, because, it feels weird that Triple H had such a short reign, as a WWF champion, considering how big of a deal his comeback was made out to be. But yeah, I like this match a lot. I enjoy it. Obviously, everything from this point on is like excellent stuff. Number 14, I'm going with Goldberg versus The Rock from 2003. When I first watched this match, which was actually like just last year, I think, I was like, that was such a weird match. What the heck? And then I rewatched it today, and I was like, that was still a little bit weird, but I don't know why I remembered it being much weirder than it actually was. It was a fun match. Sorry, y'all. It was a fun match. I enjoyed it. The only time these two ever fought, definitely the right choice to main event. at the time. Do I smell popcorn? I say that as if you guys can smell what I'm smelling. Speaking of smell, you smell what The Rock is cooking. Yeah, it kind of blows my mind that I didn't watch this match for the first time till last year. But it's still a good match. And Goldberg gets the win. And the Rock was funny in this match, too. Yeah, it was a good match. Number 13. Wow, the most recent match here. I'm sorry, this didn't really seem to hold up for me on rewatch. Number 13, Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles. Backlash 2024. Just last year. This match isn't even a year old yet. This match was all about the crowd, man. Like, the match itself is very secondary to the crowd. And that really felt clear when I rewatched this match. Not that it's a bad match. It's still a good match, but I'm like, wow, the crowd really did carry this, because I remember loving this way more last year when I watched it and gave a review for it. So obviously I don't remember what I said in my review of Backlash last year, but I probably did praise this match a lot, because I remember I was like, that was a fantastic match. Here, that did not hold up as good. Not at all, for me. But yeah, this match was all about the crowd. Still probably the best crowd I've ever heard. France. You know, I'm of French ancestry. So that makes me proud. Yeah, best crowd I've ever heard. But maybe we should be it's hard to say like whether the match itself was good or the crowd made it seem better than it was. It's weird because I still love The Rock versus Hulk Hogan from WrestleMania 18. The crowd was obviously a huge part of that match, but I think it's also the way that in real time The Rock and Hulk Hogan responded to the crowd. That just makes the match even more awesome to me. Because I was like, they didn't expect like Hulk Hogan to be cheered, and they kind of on the spot. Anyway, I just wanted to say that. But yeah, nowhere near as good as on rewatch for me, honestly. Maybe I'm smoking crack, even though I'm straight edge, but that's just how I feel. Number 12. Now this match was actually really dang good. I'm actually shocked that I put it this high. I mean, not that it's like that high, but, you know. Number 12, I'm going with Drew McIntyre and RK Bro versus the Bloodline. It's gonna be Bloodline. Look at you now. From 2022. WrestleMania Backlash. Yes, I'm including WrestleMania Backlash in this. Wow, this was such a fun six-man tag. I'm wondering why they went with this instead of, you know, a normal Roman Reigns championship defense. But this was still a fun-ass match for what it was. It was hilarious when Drew McIntyre was, like, calling for Roman Reigns, get tagged in, man. And then eventually Jimmy, he tagged in Roman, and then Roman immediately just said, nah, screw you, and then tagged in Jay. That was hilarious, man. This was a fun-ass match. It was awesome when Randy did a whole bunch of RKOs. You know, the part where Roman did the Uranagi to Drew through the announce table was awesome. And Roman, of course, spears and pins Matt Riddle for the victory. Yeah, same for 2023. 2022 and 2023 Like, Roman was there, he was performing, but not in championship defenses. Why? I'm wondering why they went with that route, you know. But yeah. So yeah, that match was way better than I remembered. Number 11. This was actually a first time watch for me, believe it or not. Batista versus Triple H, Backlash 2005. What a great freaking match this was. This match was awesome. I love the story they told here. You know, like, obviously it was the rematch from WrestleMania 21. And yet Ric Flair doing everything to try and cheat for Triple H. And, just Triple H trying so hard to overcome Batista and his strength and all that. But it just wasn't enough. It was just an entertaining, great story throughout. And I loved every bit of it. So yeah, I thought that match was fantastic. Actually, you know, I'm shocked at how much I enjoyed it, actually. You know? I don't know what more to say. In fact, that's the thing when you don't write notes, say, is like, you feel like, yes, I got this to say. It's probably a combination of that and ADHD, you know? But yeah. Number 10. This is another first time watch. I really enjoyed this match. I still thought it could have been even better. Now this match. Randy Orton versus Triple H versus John Cena versus JBL, Fatal 4-Way Elimination, main event of Backlash 2008. This match was so much fun. However, the Fatal 4-Way portion of the match was only 10 minutes. And I was like, man, that was so much fun. And then the rest of the match is about 30 minutes long. This was like a glorified Triple H versus Randy Orton one-on-one match. You know? Like, there was a funny ass moment when JBL forgot for a second that this was a elimination match. So he looked like he was about to save Randy Orton from John Cena's STF, and then he stopped and he was like, ha ha ha, he was like laughing at him. And then Triple H came in, did the crossface onto JBL, and then JBL for some reason like pushed Randy Orton out of his STF, and then Randy Orton was out here, and then he was laughing at JBL now. I love that part, like, when, right at the start, when John just does that big ass, like, hard, like, shoulder tackle to Randy Orton on the outside. That was an awesome moment. And then John Cena makes JBL tap out to the STF and eliminates JBL. And immediately after that, Randy Orton punts John Cena 1, 2, 3. And then the next like 20 minutes, it's basically a glorified one-on-one match between Randy Orton and Triple H. And it was still a great, section. I'm wondering why the Fatal 4-Way part of this was so short. Because that was fun stuff, man. And honestly, the one-on-one portion between Randy Orton and Triple H here, 10 times better, 100 times better than the entire WrestleMania 25 match. Yeah. But it was still a great match. I still loved it. But man, if they kept that 4-way part longer, I think I would love it so much more. Anyway, already up to the top 9. Far out. Number 9, I'm going with Edge versus Randy Orton 2020. Man, there was a good chunk of this match where they just weren't really doing anything. I don't think. But man, when it got great, it got great. If you remember at the time, this was being billed as the greatest wrestling match ever. It was that, and the match was like 45 minutes long. And you know what? Props to them for giving it so much time. But at the same time, it's like, maybe that was a bit much. But it's like, thank you for making it such a long match at the same time. I love the start when Edge is just doing arm drags to Randy Orton. And then they do a bunch of finishes. They even do finishes of other wrestlers. You know. And that was a nice touch. And the ending was great too. When out of nowhere, Randy Orton just does the punt. 1, 2, 3 to Edge. And yeah, it was a great match. I feel like if I wasn't watching it for work, yes, I consider this work, not that I get paid for it, but if I was watching it casually by myself, I probably would have loved it a lot more. But because I was watching it for this video, you know, still a great, excellent match though. Yeah, not the greatest wrestling match ever to me. I still prefer the Last Man Standing match from WrestleMania, honestly. This was a pandemic era, you know. I really love that Last Man Standing match. Especially how there's no fans and we just get all intimate. I'm not trying to sound weird or anything, but anyway. Number 8. From 2009. This is a match I've seen a billion times, but I didn't rewatch it because I already have seen it a billion times. John Cena vs. Edge. Last Man Standing match, 2009. Yeah, this match was excellent. It is a bit slow. You know, it is a slow burn of a match, which is why I have seen it a million times, but also probably won't watch a million again for a while. I know this sounds weird, but it was an excellent match. This might have been the first like Avalanche attitude adjustment ever that we've seen. John didn't really make that a regular thing until like 2016 though. But like I know we kind of saw a version of the Avalanche AA when he did it to Bobby Lashley in 2007. But that was like just him at the top rope, and then he just kind of lets Bobby fall off. It wasn't like the version we see now where he like has them on his shoulders and then he leaps off and does it at the same time. You know what I mean? This might have been the first that we saw that, you know? I loved it when they fought in the concession stand area. I loved it when they fought backstage. I loved it when they fought in the crowd for a bit. Excellent match. And that was John Cena's last ever Backlash match. Until, of course, 2025 Backlash. Where he'll face off against Randy Orton. You know? For the final time, probably. Obviously, I'm rooting for John Cena. Hustle, loyalty, respect forever. Hopefully, John retains. I do not want Randy Orton to win any world championship ever again. But, yeah, number 8, John Cena vs. Edge. Excellent stuff. Number 7, The Rock vs. Stone Cold Steve Austin, 1999. The first ever Backlash main event. I gotta be honest, I thought that this match, like, I remembered it just being like a rehash of their WrestleMania 15 match. This was like their WrestleMania 15 match on steroids. And I mean that in an awesome way. This, I think, was even better than their WrestleMania 15 match. Holy crap. They fought everywhere, man. They freaking destroyed the whole freaking stage set. Shenanigans with the referee. Shane McMahon, who was the guest referee. The thing with when The Rock grabbed the camera That was a funny ass moment. It's such a fun ass match. Excellent, excellent match. Loved it. And yeah, I loved it. Number 7. Number 6, this is another match I didn't rewatch because I remembered it pretty vividly in my head. Not that I've seen it a million times, but I still remembered it vividly. John Cena versus Triple H versus Edge. Triple threat match. Backlash 2006. Just a great triple threat. Triple H got bloodied hard on this match, man. And John Cena was awesome too, like the way he just punches Triple H at the start with all that swag. And even the way he ends the match when he just does the jackknife roll-up to Triple H. Excellent stuff. And then it was even hilarious afterwards when Triple H just spazzed out and just got the sledgehammer and knocked everyone out. Great stuff. Excellent triple threat. Number 6 on my list. Top 5. Yeah, wow, with the top 5. Number 5. I'm going with Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles from Backlash 2016. I did not watch this, match or show at the time it happened. And when I heard that AJ Styles won, I was like, that felt personal to me because he had just beaten my guy at SummerSlam in a match where I was fully expecting him to win. So that just had me like in a whole bunch of bitter frozenness, if that makes sense. And I was like, wow, you put the freaking WWE Championship on top of that. Insult to insult. Well, you know what I mean? Little did I know, John would be the one to take the WWE Championship from him. So, yeah. But yeah, this was an excellent match. It's actually really nice to see like Dean Ambrose like wrestle like technical wise, like he did in this match with AJ. I mean, bro, if he can beat, I'm wondering why they went with that ending though, with AJ, having to low blow Dean to get the win. Like, bro, if you can beat John Cena clean, you can beat Dean Ambrose clean pretty easily. Nonetheless, still an excellent match. That's number 5. And this was Backlash after SummerSlam 2016. This wasn't like the usual Backlash after WrestleMania. Ironically, Payback was kind of used as Backlash for a little bit. AJ Styles also main evented and challenged for the WWE Championship that year, but that was against Roman Reigns. Yeah. Excellent match. Number 5. Number 4. Now this match, I was like, I don't know if this match will hold up because there's a bunch of matches like this that I love, and they never hold up, and so that had me worried. Number 4, Roman Reigns versus Cesaro, WrestleMania Backlash 2021. Got notifications. And yeah, this was an excellent technical wrestling match. This was kind of like Cesaro's only singles main event. He had main evented before, like he main evented Money in the Bank 2014 and Elimination Chamber 2014. But yeah, he had this freaking banger of a match with Roman Reigns And it still holds up to this day, which is so awesome to see. Great technical wrestling. Cesaro's right arm was hurt throughout the match. That kind of had me thinking about my own arm. Like, ouch. But I don't really know what more to say. Excellent technical match. Very happy it still holds up. I say that as if the match is 20 years old. The match is only about to be 4 years old. So yeah. Great stuff. And yeah. Top 3 now. Number 3. This was actually a first time watch for me, believe it or not. Because I had watched their WrestleMania match a million times. I had never watched the Backlash match. I guess I was kind of hoping to eventually get this show on DVD. And then, oh, by the way, my friend Anlox, he kind of gave me this idea. Because I was like, what's the idea for a ranking video I could do? This is it here. Top 5 Backlash main events. I said Backlash won me after he said those other ones. And I decided ranking every Backlash main event would be it. But yeah, number 3. Chris Benoit versus Shawn Michaels versus Triple H from Backlash 2004. This match was honestly pretty much just as good as their WrestleMania 20 match. I was a bit worried it would be like vastly different from their WrestleMania 20 Triple Threat, which is a match I've seen and love, but I was like, oh, I hope it's not too much different. And I had seen clips of the match where the crowd just was booing Shawn because it was in Canada and the Montreal Screwjob, yada yada yada. Yeah. This match was excellent. It was the main difference they had from their WrestleMania 20 match, aside from no blood, because their WrestleMania 20 match was full of blood, most of them Triple H. But WrestleMania 20, Chris Benoit was the underdog, and he definitely seemed like it, and definitely treated himself like one. But here, he was the confident champion. And yeah, by the way, I think I did say I was worried that the crowd booing Shawn would be overshadowing so much of the match. That was not the case. It was only when Shawn went for the sharpshooter that the crowd really got angry. And then the crowd was like, you screwed Brett. Excellent match. It was quite a long match too. But never a dull moment. I love the moment when Shawn practically puts himself through the announce table. That was hilarious, but also cool. And then at the end, Chris Benoit, the Canadian hero, makes Shawn tap out to the sharpshooter. Excellent. And kind of a yikes moment when you see Nancy and Daniel at ringside, knowing what happened, Sure you all know what I mean. But as a match, strictly as a match, it's excellent. Excellent stuff. Number three. In fact, we'll go back to Antlocks for a little bit. We're talking about Backlash 2004 for a little bit. Yeah, Backlash 2004, Dream Come True. Last VHS ever bought, nice. So the top two. Got 2 more matches. I believe today is the anniversary, 25th anniversary of my number 2 match. I'll just type in. Yeah, it is. 25 years ago today. What are the odds? I mean, I know I'm doing this because of Backlash. But yeah, number 2. I know you guys might be thinking, wow, that high, really? This is a personal match that I love so much, man. I've rewatched this match endless times. And I have lots of good memories watching this match again and again and again. I love this match so much. Number 2, Triple H versus The Rock from Backlash 2000. This match encapsulates everything I love about The Rock as a performer. Like, just... I just don't know how to describe this match. It's like you got an underdog to root for in The Rock, but he's such a cool, likable underdog. And then you got the Authority doing everything to cheat and help him to try and make him lose. The insane pop when Stone Cold comes out. It was actually confusing as hell because I watched it on my very first DVD, my very first wrestling DVD I ever got, which was The Rock, Most Electrifying Man in Sports Entertainment, where I didn't know the context of the story. So when the referee started attacking The Rock, that was hilariously confusing. You know what I mean? I don't know how else to say it. It really was. It was hilariously confusing. And, yeah. I still don't know why they were doing that. I don't know. In fact, I don't really care. It's hilarious. It's funny. And bizarre to see. And of course, the end when The Rock won. But it was like, I love how Vince at the start of the match, or before the match actually started, how he was screwing with the fans saying, remember, it said cards subject to change. Stone Cold will not actually be here tonight. And then when he comes out later, that was awesome, man. And I watched that in 2009 when I first became a wrestling fan. And I didn't know it was scripted back then, so it was like, I took everything in the match seriously, like even the cheating parts. I was like, you bastards. I was like that. And then when Stone Cold still came out, it was... And then they acted shocked. That was so awesome, man. Yeah. I love this match to death. And it's my second favorite Backlash main event. What is number 1? Well, obviously, if you do process of elimination. Oh, what do we call it? Anyway, number 1 for me is Backlash 2007. John Cena versus Shawn Michaels versus Edge versus Randy Orton. For me, the GOAT of Fatal 4-Ways. I haven't rewatched this match too many times. In fact, I think The Rock versus Triple H is by far the one I've rewatched the most. But this match, I remember when I first watched it, I watched it online back, like, you remember those, YouTube accounts that from like 2012 they used to post like full matches, but it would be like zoomed in a bit. Yeah, that was how I first watched this match for the first time on one of those accounts. And oh my gosh, I had so much fun watching this match, I can't believe. Obviously, I'll admit to a little bit of bias because it has my favorite ever, John Cena, in the match, and he also wins the match, very accidentally, though. Kayfabe it's by accident, but in real life, obviously, that would have been the planned ending. So much fun. Chaos. I don't know what more to say. So yeah, Backlash 2007 main event trumps them all to me. Where does John Cena versus Randy Orton at Backlash 2025? Where will that end up on this list? But yeah, that's going to be your boys' ranking of all 19 Backlash main events. But yeah, I don't know what more to say, y'all, but I hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, I'm your boy Marc. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Have a good one.